Good morning, everyone. So, in today's topic or this module, it will help you understand the concept of gender and human sexuality. It will also enhance your decision making skills to help you manage sexuality related concerns. As a final point, education for human sexuality will help you make intelligent decisions concerning sexual behaviors and will help you grow into mature man or woman. So first and foremost, our topic for today is all about gender and human sexuality. But before we will go deep into this, let's discuss first what is gender and what is human sexuality. So what is gender, by the way? So when we talk about gender, it is a social concept and how men and women should think, feel, and act. Okay, it refers to the femininity and masculinity of a person's role and behavior as defined by society. Okay, so when we talk about gender, we are dealing here, or the key point here, are the men and women. These two sexes builds up a gender. So it is a concept of how men and women think or how they differ from each other by the way of how they think, feel, and act. Okay. So let's say for example, how do men and women feel, no? When they're in love. Or let's say for example, in the society alone, how do they feel? So maybe for example, for women, we used to, when we are in love, let's just say love, so that it is something like interesting topic, in regards to gender. So when we talk about love, by the means of how we feel, women tend to talk it, with their friends, no, as well as to the men. But when they feel heartbroken, now here's the twist. Women just the same as they're in love, no? When they are heartbroken, they used to speak it up with their friends, peers, whoever it is that they were close into. So it differs from men. So when they are brokenhearted, when they feel heartbroken, no, they tend to keep it with themselves in order to stand with their firm that they are stronger man. No, their they don't tend to get hurt that easily, something like that. So again, when we talk about gender, it talks about men and women, no, how they act in the society, no, their behavior, no. So aside from that, the term gender is used to exemplify the attributes that a society or culture constitutes as masculine or feminine. So again, gender, men and women. So for men, we use masculine, and for women, we tend to call it feminine. So gender role refers to set of roles, characteristics, and expectations of how a man or woman should feel, think, and act as they influence by parents, peers, and society. So both both sexes, no, which is the male and female, has their roles in the society, no. So maybe the men are the one who do the income for the family, same as the women, no, they're the one who take good care of the family. But nowadays it is equally distributed, no, when we talk about roles. So in our society nowadays, it is okay that the women will work same as the men, or the man will stay at home, and the woman, no, if there were parents, no, the woman will work. So they can also work both. So depending on how they can how how do they provide to the needs and wants of the family. And of course, as a person regarding to gender, which is the man and women, no, how they are, what they do, how they act, how they interact, no, it is influenced by their parents, same as the peers or their friends. So these are the factors, no, the parents, the peers, and the society that impacts of how gender, no, is being characterized, how men and women characterized, no, it differs on whom they are with, uh, how they are being built up, who their friends are, and the surroundings or the society that they are living to. So, now we're done explaining what is gender. Let's proceed to what is human sexuality. So, when we talk about human sexuality, it is the quality of being male or female. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. Okay. So earlier we've talked about the gender, no? What are their roles, characteristic, how they think, how they act. Now when we talk about human sexuality, it is how, no, by the means of their experiences, how they express themselves. So for women, they express themselves like what? Or maybe for women, they tend to be, let's say for example, in the way of how they feel. So maybe they are soft-hearted, but for the man they are stone cold. do you do you do you what they call this? Do you agree with my opinion? So it is, when we talk about human sexuality, it is how they express themselves as sexual beings. So maybe for women, they should act as a woman, no? They use clothings for women. So something like that. They use jewelries to express themselves. They use makeups, lipstick, something like that. And then for say for the male, no, they use clothings for that are applicable for men, just like that. So aside from that, human sexuality is the way people experience and express themselves. This involves biological, erotic, relating to, when we talk about erotic, it relates to sexual desire and pleasure. Then physical, emotional, social, or spiritual feelings and behaviors. Okay, so when we talk about human sexuality, how they express themselves. So by the means of uh, expressing their feelings or their desires towards another opposite sex. So let's say for example, for men, what they do. Okay, so their desire, their if they are interested into women, they will court it, give some gifts just to please the women, no? Something like that. Then for physical, so how they what they're going to use, no? To express themselves, emotional. So for women, they are soft-hearted. Okay. And then social, how they interact with their peers, with the people surrounds them, uh who are their friends, no? Something like that. Then spiritual feelings, no? And of course, their behaviors. So if you're a man, you used to act masculinity, and for women you used to be, feminine behaviors. Okay, so that's our difference between gender and human sexuality. So again, for gender, it is how you act, your characteristics. Then for human sexuality, this is how you express yourselves as the sex that you are in, whether you are male or female. So the purpose of gender and human sexuality education is to promote wholesome family and interpersonal relationship. Okay. So later on, as we grow old, no, we tend to have our own family. So the purpose of this topic is to educate us, no, to be a better person in the future, and also to have interpersonal relationship, meaning how are we going to interact with other people that surrounds us. So that is the purpose of this topic, as well as it aims to provide knowledge and skills needed to establish and practice healthful behaviors. Now, if into this time you are confused on what gender you are in, so this subject will help you, to realize who you really are. So just like that. Well, anyway, no, we are in the society now living in equality. Okay, so that's okay. So finally, it aims to produce students who are responsible and have healthy sexuality. So this topic, no, not just to educate us, not just to give us knowledge, but by the means of this topic or this subject, this aims to produce students who are responsible, not just for their family, for their friends, but for the society as well. No? Next, sexuality as an important component of one's personality. So, when we talk about sexuality, it is a natural and healthy part of life. It is everything about being a male or female. It is the most important aspect in masculine or feminine identification. Okay, so when we talk about sexuality, it is the natural you, no? Everything about you being a male or a female, being a masculine or a feminine. So this is your identification. So when we talk about sexuality, it is the natural you, the identification of you, of whom you really are. Aside from that, sexuality involves the name given at birth. So if you are a male, you can be named as Juan. If you are female, you can be Juana. Okay, wannabe. Okay, the toys played with. So what the toys that you are playing with, no? So we have toys for male, we have toys for female. So maybe later on, if you have a family in the future, no, building a gender for your children, no, the toys as well that they are going to play will give them, it will give an impact, no, of whom they really are. Aside from that, the clothings that they are wearing. So the friends played with, so for male, so maybe they can be friends with male, no, and then the roles and responsibilities at home, no. So it's very clear, right, in the definition itself. So next, sexuality provides a sense of self-worth when sexual understanding is positive. So when we talk about sexuality, no, since it is natural being of whom you really are, no, it somehow sends us our self-worth, whom we really are. no, our identification. So that's it. Next, sex is a major aspect of personality. It is closely related to emotional and social development and can be best understood by connecting it to the total adjustment of the individual in the family and society. So sex meaning it is the female and male. So by the means of this, no, it is a major aspect of personality you're going into. Okay, that you have it built in you. So the personality that you have. So it is closely related to emotional and social development, no? So how you are being raised. No, what toys do you play when you are a child? If you're a man, same as the women. So by the means of this, no, when if you're going to be parents someday, no, we cannot tell the forecast of your life. So yeah, those factors that we have discussed earlier are the factors that you need to consider, no, between the two sexes or the gender that we are tackling to. So the process of sexual development begins from birth, no? Whom you really are, no? It begins from birth. From the very day that you are born into this world to adulthood. Thus, it is a continuous development process throughout life. So as we grow, our characteristic also as a human being develop, no? We tend to grow by the means of our emotion, physical factors that we're going through, so on and so forth. So sexuality involves the following. So we have dimensions of one's personality. So for physical self, the way you look as a man or woman, your physical outlook. So for what man has, no, it is differ from women. Next, mental self. So the way you think as a man or woman, your initiative, no, when to two sexes, which is the masculine or feminine or the male or female. Next, your social self, the way you interact with others, no, with your peers. Next, emotional self, the way you feel about yourself and others. The next, ethical self, the way you value your relationship. So not just your relationship with your boyfriends or girlfriends, but your relationship with your family, with your siblings. So it is just somehow your relationship with other people. So it should be good, ethical. Okay. So sexuality means you have to be aware of yourself better. You should be aware of yourself better. So as you grow older, you will experience range of social and emotional and physical changes. As these occur, you need an intensive knowledge on how to deal with your attitudes and behavior. So that is why, no, you growing up, there's a big factor, no, for your parents to build you up as a human person you are, no, by the means of by the means of your attitude and behavior towards the other people around you. So you should have, no, the parents should be disciplining you. Next, sexuality refers to your attitudes and behavior toward yourself. So not just for others, but also to yourself, how you respect yourself, how you deal with yourself, no? How you pamper yourself, how your attitudes towards yourself, no? Being it good or bad. So that's it. So we have how you see yourself. So how you see yourself. So for female, how you see yourself. No? Next, how you think of yourself. Are you okay? No? Does myself okay with this, with that? How you love yourself. How you give time for yourself. No, if you are tired, how you give time to yourself. How do you love yourself? Next, how you feel about yourself. Are you feeling okay with whom you are? Next, so that's it. Sexuality can be best understood through the help of the people around you. So that is why we have this quote that no man is an island. Because part of them is part of you. You are who you are because of them. They've been the factor of who you are. So that is why nowadays choose someone or choose your best friend or a friend that is good to you, no? So that what he is a mirror to you. It is a reflection to you. And by the way, no, what they do is also what you do. So that is why choose someone or choose a friend that is a good example for you to mature and to grow. Next, sexuality refers to your perception. So how you think, your feelings, and behavior towards others. So it is just the same as the before explanation. So how you see others, how you think of others, how you feel about others, how you love others. So these are the sexuality towards others. So the way you see yourself is influenced by many people. So that is why no man is an island, no? Because a part of them is a part of you. You are being influenced by them, no? So that is why sometimes now when you have best friend, you tend to copy what he does or what she does. So something like that. So it is like a mirror to you. So it is important to maintain good relationship with others. Why do you think so? No? It is the best. No, to maintain good relationship to avoid conflicts, no, in the future. Not just that, they will also support you and give you confidence, no? So sometimes now when we have friends in the room, so they are the one who give us motivation or confidence in dealing with tasks in school. Then provide companionship, someone you can lean to, no? You can talk to with your problems. And will keep you from being lonely, no? So they are the ones who make you laugh. So that is why a part of them is a part of you. Okay? So that's all for our topic for today. So the next topic will be discussed next meeting, or not next, maybe next meeting. So that's all for today. So I hope there's a lot of things that you've got into our topic, and I do hope that you will apply it not just today but in the future use as well, so that you will be able to be responsible, no, not just in your home with your friends, but in the society. So that's all for today. So I hope we've learned something.